Again, welcome back to Java Programming Language course. These lectures cover different types of Java program errors. This is Unit 1, lecture number 7. Our main objective is to explain the differences between syntax error, the runtime error, and also logic errors. So a syntax error normally is grammar errors. So for example, every language have the grammar rules. In an example of Java, we normally end our statement with a semicolon. If I forget to include a semicolon, I will get an error. Or a double quotation, open and close for a string. I have only open. I forget to include a close quotation for a string. I may get error. And this error is called a syntax error because it's the error against the Java program language rules. I would say the grammar rules. Normally, this error is detected by the compiler. So during the compiling stage. Then we also have the runtime errors. Runtime errors is normally caused by errors in our, for example, in our input values, etc. So during the runtime, the program will stop working. So here we say causes the program to abort, to stop working. So for example, if we divide a value by 0, we know if we use a calculator and we divide the value by 0, there's no answer. So the same thing with Java, it will give us an error and the program will stop running. So that's why it's called runtime errors. These errors normally occur during the running time. So for example, we declare an array and the size is 10, and we are trying to make it 20 or more than the size. Again, we may get a runtime error. But I would say the most easy runtime error to understand is dividing a value by 0. We know there's no answer. Even if we use a calculator, our output will be error, no correct answer. Now, logic errors is very difficult to identify, so you have to be careful. So in logic error, there will be no syntax error. The program will execute, it will end at the right time. So there's no abort or stoppage of the program. The only problem here is that our result is incorrect. So a very simple example, I want to divide two values, let's say 4 divided by 2. My answer is supposed to be 2. But instead of writing division, I wrote multiplication. So 4 times 2 will give me 8. So this means I'm getting incorrect result. So again, the syntax error is for grammar, or I would say the grammatical errors, which is normally detected by the compiler. A runtime error, the program will stop running. It causes the program to abort. As example will be dividing a value by 0. A logic error means our output or the result will be incorrect. So for example, I want to find the sum of 2 numbers and I want to find the difference of 2 numbers. So the answer will not be the same. Now let's see an example of a syntax error. So for example, we have a program here, public class show syntax error. So that's the name of the file, show syntax error.java. In this program, we have the main method, public static void string. So it looks correct. But system.out.println, we have welcome to Java. Here we can see that we opened the quotation, but we didn't close it. So this will give us a syntax error. This program will not compile. So let's see the program here. So again, we can see welcome to Java. The string is open and close parentheses, but we have only open. So this is an error. So let's see how it works. We start the animation again. Here they say, does the highlighted code have a syntax error? Enter yes or no. So here I'm going to enter yes because I can see we are missing a double quotation to close it. And the answer is correct. The closing quotation mark is missing. So because of that, the program will not execute. Actually, the program will not even compile. So here we say the program has 2 syntax errors. One, missing keyword void before may And secondly, the string is not crossed properly. So there will be no any compilation. We don't have no any input. And we can see a public static void. Main method always, we have any method you write, you have to specify the returning type. The main method is, the front is void because a void function does not expect a returning value. Now, if the function is expecting a whole number, we can write int. If it's expecting a decimal answer, we can write double or float. So that's the error here. We are missing the void in front of the main function or the main method. And also we are missing a closing double quotation inside the string welcome to Java. So again, this is a syntax error. Now let's look at the runtime errors. So we can see this program here. We have system.out.println. We divide 1 by 0. This program will stop working. Now we have public class show runtime errors. So it's correct. Public static. So we have the void this time. So our grammatical, there's no any grammar or syntax error here. But we are dividing a value by 0. That will give us a runtime error. So here we start the program. The program will start execution from the main method. We click next. Does 1 divided by 0 causes a runtime? We say yes, because even if we use a calculator, we will get an error message. So here we say you are correct. The code causes an error because the divisor for integer division cannot be 0. We cannot divide any value by 0, even using a calculator. So the next one will be our logic errors. So as we said, logic errors is very difficult to trace, and the programmer must trace it. Syntax error, the program will not compile. So that means the compiler will detect it. Runtime error, we will know it because the program will stop work and give us some negative or error message. But logic error, the program will compile, it will run, and it will give you a nice result. But now you have to be careful if the result is the right result. So as we said, dividing 2 values and multiply 2 values, the result may not be the same most of the time. So here again, we have our main class, show logic errors. So our main name, the name of the file will be showlogicerrors.java. Always in the main class, we have our main method where the execution takes place. Our first execution here, expression here will be system.out.println. We want to print the strings census35 is Fahrenheit degree. Then next, we write system.out.println 9 divided by 5 times 35 plus 32 will give us the result. And the result here will be the census 35, whatever result we get will give us in Fahrenheit. But this formula seems there's something wrong with the order of operation or the formula itself. So it will work, it will run, but we are not going to get the right answer. So let's start an animation. So again, as we said earlier, the main method is where the execution will start from. First, we were able to execute our string, census 35 is Fahrenheit degree what? And now they say, what is 9 divided by 5? Now we can see 9 is a whole number, 5 is a whole number. So if you divide 9 by 5, you get only 1. And the answer is correct. You will not get 1 point something because the denominator and the numerator, the values are a whole number. Now, this is where our answer will not be accurate. So what we can do here, we can divide 9.0 by 5. If we can make one of these 9 divided by 5, we can make one of them a decimal number or both of them a decimal number, then we get the correct answer. So we almost done. So in this lectures, again, we go through the 3 different types of errors: the syntax error, the logic error, and the runtime error. The syntax error, normally the program will not compile and the compiler will detect it for us. Runtime error means the program will compile, but when it's running, it will stop. When it come across again, a runtime error message, like a value divided by 0, it will stop. So we shall know. But logic error will do everything perfect. It will compile, it will run, everything perfect. So we have to be careful of the result, the answer, and make sure we have the right answer. So again, wish everybody the best and thank you for your time.